What's up, Parkers? I'm Paradomics, and welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So anyways, in the last video, oh my god, it got really harsh there. Got really heated. There's a lot of drama there. Yuri and Natsuki not looking too good, and Yuri's fucking pissed. But then again, that's kind of like Yuri's fault for kind of starting the whole thing. Anyways, let's just see what happens here. A new day arrives. Sayori arrives at the classroom earlier than usual. That is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty. So she sits down at the desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayori made a habit of scribbling down her thoughts and feelings into a paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Yo! Ah! Natsuki. Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you want me listening into your poetry. Yeah, thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? Oh no, it wasn't... I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? She's out of the hallway. Out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well... just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri's too nervous to come in a club room by herself, so... Oh. But jeez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while. But as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want to have a normal club meeting. It's not easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignored it and move on. I just don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter, and you keep saying that, yet you don't like it when she looks down on you? But then again, it's more of an attack. Besides, it makes me feel guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? Yeah, I think that's the thing. Because it came from Yuri, you felt attacked. She was being constructive and critical. It's just because it came from a person, it felt more of an attack. No, why would that matter? Ah, don't deny that. It did. It's because it came from Yuri. Well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me. Just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide they don't like me or manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? Ha! After this? Obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I get bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. Yeah, that's kind of like the example I gave yesterday. I see. But I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayori shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. The manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot more to interpret and uncover. And it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. And I think there's room for both of them in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you think. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was Monica when I was new to the club, and then it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, and if they realize that, then we could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. And I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Sayori puts down a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kind of communication. And it feels like you magically connect with them. And other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand with each other and to communicate and to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles with a lot too. It can be really hard. It's a lot to take of. It takes a lot of like reflection and self-awareness and being vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad, like when I don't get good grades or even stupid things like in my room isn't clean. Well, what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. Feels like if something goes wrong, even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find a way to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No. Our thought and our own feeling are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves. It's part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings makes me a bad person. Because my feelings just wants to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's judgmental, know-it-all, who's stuck in her edgy phase. And that I'm just way above that garbage. But I feel terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You're not your feelings. But you're not your feelings. Say that to yourself, out loud. Fine. I'm not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommates. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and then, and it makes you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I'm not my feelings. Yeah. You get it now? I want to be a good person like you. Aw, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayori's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No. It wasn't as though she inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Sarah makes a good point. You're not your feelings, and you don't have to what do you call this? You don't have to accept that as like it's really you, you know? It's just how you feel, but that's not really you. It's not really who you are. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over there? I was looking for you. Hey, please don't yell at me. Not gonna yell at you. I just wanted to say I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't try to jump in and solve everyone's problem. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. It was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the detail of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri's just... Again, Yuri's like that, very shy person. Who yells and then runs away, you know? And then when she's spotted, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, please don't hurt me. I don't mean it. It's like, it's so cute. It's just picture her just like hiding here. And then she got spotted. And it's like, don't yell at me, please. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Beer pauses and then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kind of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me, especially Natsuki. Aw, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki. And how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is naturally defensive. God, it's like these girls know each other. And they've met for like, what? How many days? Just having one deep conversation with them and then they all of a sudden know what they think. Like how Yuri can critically think about how Natsuki likes to make friends with, you know? I think she acts mean when she feels like she needs to protect herself. But you know, she's not really a bad person. In fact, she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just... Well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, but that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had a chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did, and then she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears. But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know a lot about you by now, right? Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I'm really ashamed of it. I'd like to think myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And if I'm wrong to get upset over things so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. It feels like that's something I've learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's just how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature and so good with people. You feel like a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri. I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They don't come to me naturally. It's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your own feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. It's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean to me so much. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of getting in the way. I can't stand it when the piece is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the piece is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. Why did I read it like abortion? Adoration. Is that a word? Wait, what the hell is it? Monica looks adoration. How do you pronounce that? Adoration, right? Adoration.
Adoration.
Adoration. Okay, it's adoration. Alright. Monica looks at Yuri with adoration. With deep love and respect. Okay, that's me. But I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me. Because I really want to hug you now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind. So. Monica pulls Yuri in a short embrace. You're so gentle. And I love when you communicate with your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. A letter? What a great idea! Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Your face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. Personality isn't just suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendship don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I would never have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposite in a lot of ways. But I'm friends with her because she put so much effort into understanding me, and so we get along. I think it's the same with you. You gave me a lot of time and patience. And I wonder if she feels the same. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. There's a type of person or magical formula that I have to follow in order to make someone like me. I get that. And that's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observation in the literature club. Observation? Monica was caught by surprise. Yuri was always kept herself so much. It's so unusual to hear her suddenly talk about the club. And Yuri gently smiles. Oh, so when she was buried in her book, she wasn't really reading her book. She was also listening around what's going on. Oh. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too. And it makes me happy because I learned a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it but in the past week, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it comes to the problems and concern of others, always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. They should make an anime for this. Holy shit. I'd watch an anime of this 100 fucking times. Yes, Critical, I will watch it 100 fucking times. Don't damn me. It's true. Sayori and Monica are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through a situation of conflict, but it doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and a capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. You're talking about a lot of self-awareness, and that word's pretty popular, let's just put it that way, in the game. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. We don't get a picture? We usually get a CGI or something. A very shy girl with long pretty hair is wandering at the bustling lunchtime hallway, her fist pressed on her collarbone. I wonder who that is. There is a lot of long pretty haired girls who are consequentially shy. I hope I used that word right. When she finds the literature club's president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, it was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monica glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she regained composure, she decided for sure to leave. The class door gently opens. Yuri? What a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks in response. Please, help me. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness, I thought you were in some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. You want some help? We could find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We aren't really doing anything. One sec. Monica trots back into her classroom, saying something like, "Peace, bitch," to her friends, then grabs her pen's desk before returning to Yuri. Got a date with my girl, bitches. Just imagine if that was actually the case. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. You know, that'd be actually pretty funny. Monica goes there. It's like, Monica, where you going? You got a date with a girl, bitch? Oh my god. Yuri nods and follows Monica as two of them sets off. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, so sorry. I was just caught off guard. I was doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. Why? Busy breaking the game, Monica? How come? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I really get sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Hey, this classroom's empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens the classroom door and the two of them enters. I mean, we know that. Monica literally said, let's go. Your moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monica pulls up 2 chairs at the same, then obeys as Monica beckons her to sit. Take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can just come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. And very undecisive. Do you want to talk about this? I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Aww! This is adorable. Look at this. It's so cute. I like how she's always holding her hair too. Look at that! Her pen is a heart and yours is like a black pen. What? You heard that? What? Oh. I thought because I heard the sound effect, I was like, wait, is there a button I can press here during the CGIs? It's like, oh shit, I could have done that the entire time. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Oh, I did not realize that. Holy shit. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Oh, this is so cute. Look at this. You know, as if this picture isn't enough to say, I ship Monica and Yuri. Mana Yuri. Monri. Or Unica. Unica would be nice. Unica. Anyway, how about we start by listing off the different things you want to say about her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. No, it's okay. How about some things you said to me yesterday? But never mind, I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, then her tension's evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this to each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. That's me! Yes, it is. I like she just chimes in there. Like, that's me! It's like Sayori. So, Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the two because you have taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki too. We started off pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted. But she wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do something for her that I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to things I talk about, not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like it when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay. Oh! Words begin to show! Look at that, that's a nice detail. Yuri writes something down. I think most of the important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable. So we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps just to tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you can ask what you'd like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, 1 for each of these points. I like that. My thoughts are so disorganized. I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, it's so cute. Look at them staring at each other. Oh, stop. It's so cute. So cute. You've done so much for me. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spend so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it into a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she was caught by surprise when Yuri curls her finger to hook Monica's hand in place. Aw, they were holding hands. Hey, why did you? I guess it's like for power support. Like, hold my hand, Mom, as I write down my final words to my appending doom. For a while, they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday, you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about feelings aren't right or wrong, and they're just a state of being that we just need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up by their past experience and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people are actually people, rather than just insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. It's not the side character you have to worry about. Side characters who are out to get me somehow. I don't like that Monica's the one next to you hearing that. Oh my god. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read to help out, you know? That's adorable. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it in paper, I realize I prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughed softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm glad to hear that, actually. I like how she looks like she's like fallen head over heels for her, you know? It's like it's more than just friendship going on in her mind. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole things. I've done enough damage. But it's also wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but Yuri smiles. I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much really helped me make sense of things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please, never change. As you wish. God, so cute. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. I don't want to come to the club at the same day Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stands up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two departed. Holy shit, this is the very long... Oh, it's done. Okay, I got a mail. OMG, what? Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? I think it's hilarious. For God's sake, don't tell Paula. It will get 404'd and in microsecond. Are you just relaying her tweets manually, or did you choose some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the contents of the tweet, example, not screaming for help, I assume they're coming for a control simulation. Oh my god, this is a reference to that popular Monica Twitter account. Oh my god. Because when the game came out, there was this Twitter account that's literally Monica. It's literally Monica. Where is it? Is it gone? Oh shit. Where was it? Oh my god. Because there was like a... Yeah, there was even like a Sayori, I think. I don't know. But it was really popular. It had so many followers. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like that account blew up. Oh jeez. Okay, that is so funny. Okay, I feel like these are just real people. Oh. Oh, look at Yuri. Clumsy Yuri. Clumsy Wumsy. Okay, what else is new here? Oh shit, I need one more? And I think it's from the last one. Oh, look at this. Wait, I'm missing two more. I think that's like in the Act 2, and I do Natsuki route instead of like... Oh, look at this. So adorable. I like it. I want to make this my background pic because they stay so cute together. It's like I like how Yuri is so shy and Monica is so I don't know. She's like the alpha, and then Yuri just follows her, and she's like, "Oh, okay, it's okay." And she's like so afraid that Monica will yell at her. Oh, I'm guessing this is like when they give the they give like the letters to each other. But then again, I got this from the poem game. Wait, what was this? It said something about like artworks drawn by Satchley to celebrate Valentine's Day. Oh, or are these like fan arts, or it's actual people drawn by Satchley? Because that looks like a fan art than anything else. I don't know. But anyways, I'm not gonna keep this long. That is so sweet. That's so sweet. I have nothing more to say to that story because again, it's just coming to a conclusion. All I can do is just commentate on how they act or how they are towards each other, which I feel like in the last side story, self-love, is like them. There's gonna be drama where it's like a Natsuki's not gonna like the letter because it's like, why she can't even see that she can't even she doesn't even have like the guts to see me or something like that. I don't know. But we'll just have to see in the next video. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, thumbs up like button to death. Become a Packer today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.